What's good, y'all? Welcome to the video. This time is the Mythic Legion's Thump. We all know that I have a lot of orcs, but you don't know, well, if you've watched any of my older videos, you know that I do actually have a lot of goblins. So, with that being said, I want to talk to you guys about Thump. I actually had this guy for a while. I took him in some pictures with Cassia, and I've thoroughly been enjoying him. I just never got around to actually reviewing it. So I'm trying to get back to stuff, you know, things like that. But whatever. Let's talk about the actual toy. Anyway, Thump is awesome. Turns out Thump is the nephew of King Noglin, who I reviewed a while back. So it's really cool to kind of have these backstories that the Source Horsemen, that the Source Horsemen website, Four Horsemen are giving us. And I really like where this is going because you can kind of piece together the things you want or make your own story. That's kind of the fun of all this. So anyway, let's jump to the figures. I've actually got really bare bones with him. Took him down and pretty much stripped him down to his basic armor, because one of the few things I want to talk about is that Thump actually has a quite unique face and helmet. He's a commander level, so he's pretty high ranking. He was given to Gorgo Aetherblade to join forces when the Union happened, and he kicks ass, pretty much. He wields a warhammer and things like that. So all this kind of stuff is pretty cool because he's still on a goblin body, but with a unique head and a unique paint sculpt, and I really like how it came out. You know what I mean? So in pictures, you'll see him hunched over and things like that, and I'll jump into that in a second. But first things first, let's take a look at the body wise and articulation. Now, with the goblin bodies, they are smaller bodies based on what are the 2.0 bodies. So you still get range of motion and things like that, but it's actually a little bit more compact. So you'll get shorter legs, longer arms, slightly shorter gauntlets, but you'll get shorter, well, the torsos are the same as well too. But the head looks pretty proportionate, but considering they're goblins, that's why it is what it is. But yeah, articulation wise, our head can move up. As you can see here, he can actually look straight up, which is pretty cool. You can actually tilt side to side. And looking down, obviously you can't do that. He has a very wide face, but he does get a pretty decent range. Our arm can go all the way around with no problem. When lifting it up, you actually don't have too much of an issue that you normally have with armored bodies. He can go all the way across. We can make our 90-degree angle, and we can rotate on our forearm. We also have gauntlet movement, and we have a horizontal peg that allows our movement of the wrist. As far as the torso goes, our torso can move back slightly and moves forward pretty well. And moving forward is going to be the thing that he does pretty well. As you can see, it points it out to the point where it shows him pretty much kind of like a hunched over position, which is going to come in handy later, and I'll show you why. We have our rotating waist, so it can still rotate side to side on the top of the torso and at the bottom of the torso, so you can get a little bit of extra movement and you can tilt to the sides. As far as the legs go, we can go forward, we can go backwards, we can go outward. We have a thigh swivel, we have a single joint, and we have excellent ankle pivot. Again, all of these things are going to come in handy when using this character, at least in a goblin-like manner, because as you can see here, hunching him over like the said goblins, or what goblins do, will make him pretty much give him his look, which is going to be pretty cool, especially for a guy who's carrying around a warhammer. You know what I mean? So as you can see here, it just looks pretty cool, looks pretty hunched over. Now the thing about this, I didn't realize how ashy I am. Oh well. Doesn't even matter. The thing that's really cool about this is his armor kind of gives him his really fashionable look, because instead of coming with like 2.0 pauldrons, they give him these 1.0 really big pauldrons that kind of stand out for him as a character and give him his unique look. Something that you normally don't see them give on a 2.0 body. Now I'm just trying to lock in these pauldrons to give him that look. And this is what I was saying. It gives him a quite unique look that he looks pretty cool. Now his head kind of fits, the personality, the heavy armor. And then when you talk about his weapons, right? We're talking about a guy who carries around a really long warhammer. This comes in 2 pieces, obviously, but you could just attach it at the end. You'll have the warhammer. His warhammer actually matches his paint scheme of his body. The nice green handle in the middle, the bronze parts, the spike flail piece at the end, and the hammer itself looks really good. Painted like it's worn itself out in battle. So when you attach it to his hand, just slide it in there. Come on, slide, slippity slide. Oop. And I think I've worn it out to the point where it doesn't stay friction, so I'm gonna have to definitely add some nail polish there. And as you can see here, Thump's look actually works really well here. I really like how this looks. He can hold it with 2 hands as well too. And what you get otherwise with his other accessories, you'll obviously get this here for holding his weapon accessories on his back. You'll also get 1 part of an elven twin sword, twin blades. You only get 1 part, but obviously if you want to mix and match, his the only unique one I know that is red. But if you obviously want to mix and match, that's totally fine too. You'll also get a short axe. Both can be placed on his back when you wrap it around. It's pretty easy. And that's pretty much all the stuff that Thump comes with. But Thump is actually really nice and really unique in terms of what you're getting. And I really hope that a lot of people go back and pick them up on the in-stock sale. It's actually going to happen on the 22nd. So I'm hoping people will go pick up things that they like in case you ever missed out. But this guy's actually really nice. I love how he looks. Hopefully I can get some really cool shots of him, you know, breaking bones. That'll be really cool. Now, one quick thing that we're going to do is we're going to jump into size comparison. Just give me 1 second as I set up and get some stuff ready. So I'll see you guys in a second. Now jumping into the size comparisons with Thump, we're going to see what Thump looks like next to other goblins, some Star Wars stuff, and mix and matching some lines that can either work or just mixing the universe and having fun. So let's do that. First things first, I'm going to have him mix with other Mythic Legions and show you what it's like next to a bunch of goblins, as well as a bunch of other factions and character sizes. Here he is next to my mix Thwip. I mixed around some parts on him. Here he is on next to Gonks, who uses some 1.0, who uses actually a dwarf-like body, right? So you can see size-wise, these guys aren't even the same and they still look pretty good, right? Here's Nutbuck. Let me actually move you over, move you down. Let's fit Nutbuck in there, right? So there's different type of goblins that we have so far. These are just a few of them. Let's keep going, right? This is actually pretty cool. It's one thing I like is that people don't give them credit for what they actually do. Even if stuff actually uses the same body, they make them look different enough. Here's Snag. And Snag actually uses a pretty nice body. I actually like Snag's body type. I really wish I got another one so I can make a human body out of this, because he actually has great proportions for a human body. Right? So there's Snag, who won't stand because I think I have a problem with my ankle. But I'll fix that off camera later. Here we are with a Goblin Legion builder, right? So this is what I was talking about with the shoulder pads. As you can see the difference. Here these guys are kind of on a similar body, but they still look different because the type of the head, the armor, the shoulder pads, all makes a difference. And here he is next to his uncle, King Noglin, who might also suffer from a stiff joint that I've had him standing there for so long. But yeah, we actually have a really cool look on all of these guys, and it's all pretty unique. Let's move these guys around. Let's talk about some other sizes. Here he is with a Juno the Crusher on a female 2.0 body. Well, the 2.0 body, I should say, right? Then we have an Orc, which are kind of like the cousins to Goblins. So Orc Legion builder. Then we're going to do, let's do an Ogre. Because if I do a Dwarf, it doesn't make sense because Gonks used that body. As you can see here. Size-wise, these guys, you know, all different. Really all nice and enjoyable. Lets you get a lot of good feels out of trying to pace your own little small army, right? Next up, we have an SHF, which is Kamen Rider Cougar. Right? We don't need a sassy cougar. Here we are with a Marvel Legends Black Panther. In case you want to mix up with your Star Wars, right? We will do a couple of different Star Wars. I have the Black Series Mando, right? And then we'll also do an SHF Boba Fett, as well as a heavily armored Mando, who's a little bit bigger. In case you want to get your sci-fi on, because, you know, goblins and stuff like that and creatures like this, you can all mix and match and look pretty cool. Here we have a 1000 Toys Synthetic Human, or carb, or mix, whatever you want to call it. Take these guys away. Next up, I'm definitely gonna use Hellboy, because you definitely want to see what he's like next to Hellboy. You can do a real cool, supernatural, mystical vibe. And I have me hanging out somewhere, the custom me. So right now I'm going to use Logan. It's a little bit smaller, but it shows how he looks next to him as a Mezco-sized character, right? All in all, Thump, I said Thump. Thump has been really fun, and I've really been enjoying him. Hopefully I can have him lay the smackdown on some characters, and you guys will enjoy the photos at the end. As always, guys, thank you for enjoying. Thank you for trying them out. Shout out to everybody who always watches. I appreciate you guys. And as always, guys, please be good, do good, drink your water. Later.